Welcome to Gastronomer Lifestyle and a new series called On the Pass, looking at some of the best restaurants in the world and the chefs driving the force behind the scenes. Today we look at Mia Restaurant, a fantastic European fine dining concept in the heart of Bangkok. With their rooms of possibilities, Mia has changed the way we look at fine dining, and the experience we had there was outstanding. We wanted to learn more from Chef Michelle and Chef Top Russell to find out about their experience and what led them to create this incredible concept they have today. This is On the Pass at Gastronomer Lifestyle, with episode 1 being Mia Restaurant.
So I'm Michelle, one of the head chefs here at Mia Restaurant. I'm actually originally from Kuching, so that's part of Malaysia, but on the east side, so it's actually on the Borneo Islands itself. I know that Jamie Oliver sometimes has a really bad reputation, but I have to say that he is the reason that I became a chef today. So when I was watching him make fish and chips, I was like, wow, I didn't realize food could look that way or make you kind of feel that way. And so because of that, I actually started cooking at home, more like for my family. And that's kind of my earliest memory of cooking.
I'm Top Russell. My first name is actually Pongcharn, but no one really calls me by that because it's pretty hard to pronounce. I was actually born in Nakhon Thammarat in the south of Thailand, but then I moved around quite a fair bit. And then I was adopted by a British stepdad when I was about 4. So I moved to the UK when I was 14. Obviously, I'm from the south, which is a lot of spices, a lot of seafood, but then also being Malay on top of that, which is what Thai people call Muslims, Malay, you were exposed to even more unique food. But I had no idea how unique it was until I left.
The moment I finished high school, I actually moved to Sydney to study in Le Cordon Bleu because I really wanted to do cooking professionally. And when I was working with Neil Perry, that was when I really found my passion for fine dining. I didn't realize that eating could be like an experience as a whole. After I had left Sydney, I actually had plans to move to London. Because obviously London cooking, it's just what it is. However, I again ran into issues with my visa, so because of that I actually stopped in Singapore, and I was actually planning to only stay in Singapore for a little while I figured out where I wanted to go next. But I ended up staying in Singapore for a year because I met Top.
We really do cancel each other out. Like I said, she was a A-star student, first in her class, has a degree in cooking, and I'm like this wrecking ball of a lazy person, had no ambitions in life. And yeah, we were great. We canceled each other out a lot, and our chemistry in the kitchen is fantastic. It really, really is. We really bring out the best of each other, and it really shows that in the food.
In a restaurant called Pollen. It's actually a restaurant in the Flower Dome. So the restaurant itself was absolutely beautiful, situated inside like a garden full of flowers. And it was the first time I got to really do the food I wanted to do. So it was a great experience for me. And when Top suggested to move back to Bangkok, I was like, okay, I've never been there, but let's go anyway. Working in Suring, I really learned Thai culture. As you know, it was a bit of a culture shock for me at the very beginning, but I think it was a really, really good experience because honestly, working in Thailand is different from working anywhere else in the world.
So my cooking is very science forward now, but only for, I would never take a carrot and try to turn it into a sweet corn, nothing like that. But in terms of like finding the best way to cook that carrot for what we need to, whether it's juicing it, reducing it, freezing it, hydrating it, like loads of different things, and that's great fun.
Julian, he used to work at Sketch in London. He wanted the diners to have a different experience every time they came back. So he got the idea that if we decorated each room very, very differently, Every time someone came back, they could sit in a different room and get a completely different experience. The photos would look different. You know how the hanging flowers, it's very like girly, whereas the dark room is more masculine, so you kind of get a different feel every time depending on different celebrations. We wanted to do a fine dining concept of using a Thai produce but cooking European food. Because actually our background is that we're both classically French trained, but because we were back in Asia, we really wanted to showcase Asian ingredients, but utilizing them in a way that would not normally be utilized in Asian cooking. So for the menu that we have here, we actually have the curtains downstairs, which is all a la carte. The feeling of dining downstairs is a little bit more casual, it's a little bit more upbeat and fun. You have the cocktail bar right there, and it's a little bit more fast-paced. If you move upstairs to rooms, we have a chef selection tasting menu only, 8 courses with 4 snacks and 3 petit fours to finish.
Like the bread we make every day. It's a sourdough that we give away for free, but it literally took us like 3 weeks to get that recipe right. You know, ice creams that we make downstairs for the desserts, all freshly made, freshly churned every day. And Mia, what we do, especially for rooms, is definitely personal cuisine. Even though we call it modern European, it's loosely modern European. But it's definitely a combination of what me and Michelle, our experiences in the kitchen, and most importantly, what we like to eat. Oh, my favorite dish, definitely easy one right now, is the lobster perfume. I wanted to make a dish that was resonating around a perfume. And, you know, perfume for me, perfumes is, you know, I wanted to make a dish that revolves around making traditional perfume. So the way that it's a basically extraction of natural ingredients and the complexity of that. So that's how we got the lobster, watermelon, tomato, a stone fruit, and then we make a oil out of basil. And the great thing is in Thailand, you know, even though they're completely different plants, the naming you have like I think 7 different basils here. We make a really, really green, complex, quite bitter oil. And then we have a fruit salad at the bottom, some pomelo. And then on top we have like almost 20 different types of herbs and flowers, just raw. Most of it's local as well. And yeah, we have a poached lobster ballantine right in the middle. And then it's served with the watermelon and tomato consomme.
To say this, but my favorite dish is, of course, the dessert. So right now on our new tasting menu, I just put on this dessert that I named the cereal bowl. So the inspiration behind the cereal bowl is that I wanted it to be a little bit fun. You know how sometimes when you have fine dining, it can feel a little bit stuffy and pretentious? So I wanted to give you kind of like breakfast for dessert to kind of be a little bit playful. One particular dessert back home in Kuching called Milo Jagong. So basically what it is, it's like a bingsu style crushed ice, but they put Milo powder and canned corn, and you just eat crushed ice with Milo and canned corn. When you get it, it actually looks like a bowl of cereal, and we even give you the milk on the side in a little glass milk carton. And the idea is that you pour the milk and you eat it like a cereal, and when you actually have it, it tastes exactly like a cereal bowl. But what it actually is, it's a Milo cream on the bottom, a cereal mix consisting of dehydrated milk, caramelized popcorn, chocolate crumble, and corn ice cream. So for us, it's like when we put something on the menu, especially for Top, he always likes to say like, would my mom actually enjoy that, or would she think it was too weird? So if it was too weird for his mom, it's probably too weird for the general population. So that's how we kind of approach food and how we want people to see our cooking. It's approachable, yet a little bit creative, a little bit different, but at the same time, you can have fun and still have a great dining experience out of it.
I mean, when we first opened Mia, it was not as personal as it is now. for me, it was almost like just another job, another project. It was an ambitious project. Something that we knew that if we went to, we would have to do 100%. But was it? Would I dare say that it would? Did I think that it would be a life-defining project? No. Very, very different kind of food that we were doing. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds for sure.